Namaste and welcome. I am Dr. Kasi and I am genuinely excited to take you in this first step with our foundation course. Before we dive in, let's begin with a moment of reflection. Close your eyes for just a few seconds. Think back to the first time you heard the word yoga. What were you searching for? Maybe you saw a beautiful pose on social media, or you wanted to increase your flexibility. Maybe a health professional told you to manage stress. Now open your eyes. After 15 years of teaching and training hundreds of teachers, I know this. Most people come to yoga looking for a physical solution, but they stay because they find a profound spiritual one. They come for the body. They stay for a change in their life. I want to tell you about Sarah. Sarah came to my studio 5 years ago. A high stress tech executive here in Dubai, barely sleeping. She signed up because she wanted to lose weight and get flexible. That was it. 3 months later, she came to me, tears in her eyes, and said, Dr. Kashi, I came here to fix my body, but somehow you fixed something I didn't even know was broken. This is the power of authentic yoga. Most of the world knows only asanas, the physical poses. But what they find with real yoga is an ancient, complete science that addresses not just the body, but the mind, the emotions, and the way we live. So, let's be clear. Yoga is not just exercise. It's not stretching. It's not just a beautiful headstand. If you treat yoga only as a physical workout, you are, as the ancient saying goes, eating the wrapper and throwing away the chocolate. We are going to find the chocolate today. So, what yoga actually means? The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to yoke, to unite, to join together. But unite what? The ancient sages realized that all human suffering comes from a fundamental sense of separation. We feel separate from others, from nature, and most painfully, separate from parts of ourselves. Let me give you a powerful example from a former client, Dinesh. Dinesh came to my clinic 3 years ago, a successful architect who felt completely miserable, waking up with tight chest and chronic indigestion. When we explored his state, we found a profound internal conflict. His mind, Manas, was telling him, be grateful for your good job, stop complaining. But his body, Sharira, was screaming, I'm exhausted, I'm stressed, something is wrong. And his heart, Hridaya, was whispering, this isn't your path. 3 parts of him, all disconnected. This fragmentation is what the yogis called avidya, ignorance, or fundamental disconnection. Yoga is the practice of coming back together. It's about listening to your body, calming your mind, and aligning your actions with your deepest wisdom. When you are whole within yourself, you naturally begin to feel connected to the world around you. This is the promise of yoga: union, integration, coming home to yourself. Now, where does this complete system come from? The practices we now call yoga are at least 5,000 years old. 5,000 years. The earliest evidence comes from the Indus Valley Civilization. For millennia, these potent practices were passed down orally from teacher to student, considered too sacred to be written for just anyone. Then, around 400 CE, the sage Patanjali did something revolutionary. He gathered this vast wisdom and compiled it into a clear, organized text called the Yoga Sutras. He created a map. That map is the 8 limbs of yoga, which we will explore next. Unfortunately, between the ancient India and modern world, we lost most of this map. When yoga traveled west, it was simplified and commercialized. The 8 limbs were reduced to just one limb, the physical postures or asana. The rich philosophy, the breathwork, the deep meditation, it all got stripped away, leaving us with fitness in comfortable clothes. Please understand, the physical practice is essential, but teaching only asana and calling it yoga is like knowing the alphabet and thinking you have mastered literature. To truly understand this profound science, you need the complete map. That is exactly what we build in our 200-hour yoga teacher training. Why this foundation matters for you? Understanding the true meaning of yoga is the most important lesson you will learn. Why? You stop judging yourself for not being flexible enough, because you know flexibility isn't the point. You stop comparing your practice to others, because you realize your practice is your path to wholeness. You start realizing that yoga is not something you do for an hour a day, but something you become. Remember Sarah? She is now calmer. She sleeps better, and her relationships have improved. Why? Because she realized the poses were just the beginning. She started practicing all of yoga. This foundation course is your first step. It is a critical introduction. We have now established what real yoga is. We know it's a complete ancient system. Now, Let's get practical and look at the actual map that Patanjali gave us. The 8 limbs of yoga. This is where the journey to true mastery begins. I will see you on the next lecture. Namaste.